This is a super quick ground beef chili that's full of flavor. It only requires a single pot and a few ingredients to be prepared. So let's get started. We'll start by heating up our pot on low to medium-low heat so that we can sweat our onion and bell pepper. Now while the pot heats up, we'll dice our onion and bell pepper. This time we'll start our clock at about 3 minutes, as that's how long it took me to get our pot, gather, and wash our bell pepper and onion. Well, I didn't wash the onion, but the bell pepper. Now, we dice our onion by cutting it in half and make a few cross cuts. Now, the best way to do cross cuts is to try to do a single pass by starting from the heel of the knife and slice to the edge and not going back and forth. This is a lot easier and safer. Now, you need a sharp knife to do this efficiently, but the more you do it, the more efficient you become. So take your time and develop your technique. Be patient, it will happen sooner than you think. Next, we'll dice our bell pepper by first removing the stem if it has one. Stand it up and cut around the seeds, avoiding as much of the white flesh as possible. Lay the pieces flat and julienne them. Now everyone likes to lay them skin side down, but I like to lay them skin side up to make sure I slice through them. One thing I hate having to do is to pass the knife a second time for the same cut. Again, you need a sharp knife to prevent it from sliding. Now we add a couple of tablespoons of oil into our pot. Here I added some bacon grease that I had left over, but we can use olive oil. After a minute of it heating up, we throw in our diced onion and bell pepper. Mix them around and ensure they all get coated and sweat them until the onions are translucent. In the meantime, we prepare our garlic. We just peel, slice, and then cross chop them. You can also use a garlic press. I have one somewhere. This should take up about 2 minutes or less. Now we use this time to gather our other ingredients and condiments. After about 5 minutes, we make some room in our pot for our garlic. Add about a tablespoon of oil or bacon grease. Yes, I use bacon grease again, but you can use olive oil. Throw in our garlic, mix and cook it for a minute, and then combine. Now we add our ground beef, raise our heat to medium, and start breaking it apart and cook until it's all brown. About 10 minutes. You can also use ground turkey, which we do sometimes. While the meat browns, we prepare our other ingredients. We gather and open our cans of tomatoes and beans. We rinse the beans well using a colander. Now after the meat browns and most of its water has evaporated, we add some tomato paste and mix it all around. Then we season it with paprika, ground cumin, chili powder, dried oregano, cayenne pepper, packet of Sazón Goya, which can be found in the Latin, Spanish, or Mexican section of your grocery store. I had half of another left over from some empanadas I made prior. Okay, as always, add fresh ground pepper, salt. That clearly wasn't enough. Add some sugar to balance out the acid from the tomatoes that are coming next. We combine and mix well. Now we add our 12-ounce tomato sauce, followed by the 28-ounce crushed tomatoes, but don't throw out the cans just yet. Mix well for about a minute. Now we take our beef or chicken broth. I use chicken and use it to rinse out our tomato cans before adding it to our pot. We add our rinsed beans, mix well, cover, and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Now while our mix simmers, we get our garnish ready. Chop some green scallions. I cut off the root ends, peeled off the outer layer of skin, and washed them. Chop some cilantro, cut some lime wedges, and shred some cheddar cheese if not using already shredded. I had a bag of Fiesta mix, which is a blend of cheeses. Now, for 30 minutes, we carefully open our chili with the lid facing away from us so that the blast of trap steam goes away from us. Now, you see that grease? Yeah, we don't skim that out. That's flavor. We mix it all up, use a potato masher or fork, and mash some of the beans. Not all of them. You can also use an immersion blender and blitz it a couple of times. Mix. Taste and adjust seasoning, and as I expected, I was short on salt. Cover and cook for 10 minutes. The mashed beans will help thicken our chili a bit. After 10 minutes, we're ready to fill our bowl. Garnish with some tortilla chips or crackers. Here I use chips. Scallions. I use the white part for the mild onion flavor and the green as an herb. Add cilantro, cheese, and a dollop of sour cream. Oh, I almost forgot the lime wedge. Now I know chili is most popular during the cold winter months here in the States, but do you know what we enjoy during the spring and summer? That's right, hot dogs. And what better topping than some hearty, delicious chili? Take a couple of all beef Nathan hot dogs or whatever you have from the skillet and onto some potato buns. Spoon over some of the delicious chili, sprinkle some of the scallion mix to make it look fancy, and top off with some cheese. Alright, first we try our bowl, mix it all up, and don't forget the lime. It takes it to the next level. This chili freezes great. You can put them in Ziploc bags, flatten, and stack them. Then it can be easily thawed out with a little bit of water in a small pot on low heat. Well, this recipe took about an hour and 10 minutes to make, but it is a lot of food. You can feed 6 to 8 people. And remember that within that time, there's a lot of downtime that should be spent cleaning up. Well, the hot dog was phenomenal. My kid killed the second one. Okay, hope you give this recipe a try. The list of ingredients is in the description below. Enjoy.